Hi, welcome. Today we're going to be talking about the Timecard Mini. Whether you have picked up one of our Timebeat Timecard business cards, so pretty cool ones there. We've been on the road for the last couple of weeks, handing these out to some lucky few. So if you got one of them, or if you picked up one from our shop, this is going to be a great guide for you. Just get you up and running, how to build it. Whether you're using our image for the Raspberry Pi or you want to use your own, should be able to get you up and running today. So pretty cool little devices, full L1 to and 5 GNSS antenna receivers. Should be getting you up and running. It's a pretty cool clock sync. So just on top of that, we have the CM4 here. It's fully compatible with the CM5, so you can use that as well. And to help us along our way, we've got the Timecard Mini PCIe baseboard. So we're going to be doing both the CM4 flashing using this, as well as using it to run and power the timing system. And so if you have your own Raspberry Pi I/O board, you can use that as well. Fully interoperable. I just have one of these handy, so why not? First of all, we'll take a look. We've got our downloads page on our website, so all the software is available to download. We've got a couple of images here. We've got the CM4 image, which is the one we're going to be using today. We also have the CM5 image. Both are pre-configured, so it's minimal work to do with them. Highly recommend, if you've got the time, to check them out. We also have all the softwares available if you're building your own, or if you just wanted to update. So we'll also be going through that. We're using the ARM64 version. That one is compatible with the Raspberry Pi system. Going to do a little shameless plug here for the eMMC flash on the Raspberry Pi. We're going to use a variant of Jeff Gilling's guide. We're going to put a link to this in the description. I find it very helpful just to follow along. They do use the Raspberry Pi I/O board. We're going to be showing you on the Timecard Mini, but the process and the steps are the same. Just going to want to scroll down to use USB boot. It's a bit of a mouthful, that one, to get that done. So we'll just take a look at that and we'll get cracking. So first of all, for download, we're just going to download 2.1.11. There we go. We're going to hit download. Lovely. We're going to download anyway. A couple of extra steps there, didn't realize that. Now, at some point in this video, fast forward to the end. So, next step. We're going to want to put the Timecard Mini into eMMC boot mode. So what you'll see, it's going to be a little tough to read on camera, but we do have these dupe switches down below. And then there's some text just following it. To make it easy, if you can't read, we're going to move the first switch to on. So for this I have handy pair of tweezers. So we're just going to flick that up. I don't know if you see that there. That is now in the up position. And we're good to go. So first of all, we're going to ignore our module stuff to do, but we're going to ignore that for now. We're going to start with the CM4. I'm just going to place that on top, like so. There we go. You might hear a couple of clicks. And then we've got a USB cable here into the PC. Had it earlier, so didn't mention that. We're going to get that up there. So it's just a small connector up near the RJ45. Just going to get that in there. And then got this trusty test case here from 1965. We're just going to get that in that. Okay. So first things to note, power is off. Always keep power off until you're ready. So we're now ready. We're going to find our power lead. Just get that in there, and we're going to power it on. So as that's coming up, we're going to get the terminal up. So here we go. So we've got a terminal here. We've got a terminal. It's got a train on it. I don't know if yours does that, but it's quite fun. I can't stop it. We're all on the ride now. So in a couple of seconds, there we go. So if we follow Jeff's guide, what we'll have done, we'll have downloaded the USB boot system. I'm in this system right now, you can see here. So we're just going to go ahead and flash the Pi. So for that, we'll do /rpi boot. And here we go. Got a bit of a hit rate on this one, so it's going to work first time, like so, or it's going to take a couple of attempts. If it takes a couple of attempts, just power on and off the device. It will catch. Sometimes it's not this simple. But what we've done now is we've entered this into a USB state, essentially. So it's like a disk drive we can write to. So for that, we're going to use our Raspberry Pi imager, which I've downloaded earlier. You can see a Jeff's guide. He's got it here. It's the go-to method. So it's going to choose our operating system. In this case, we're going to go to custom, and as we had it, there we go. Timecard Mini. There we go. So we're just going to select that. Choose the storage. We'll now see that our Raspberry Pi is turned up. Then we're going to hit next. Now, because mine is actually already done, interested speed, I'm not going to do that and overwrite it. I'm just going to cancel that, and then I am good to go. I'm just going to eject the file system, and there we go. That is now flashed, and we're running Timebeat operating system. So power off the server that we got it in, like so. And then away we go. So now we've got that flashed. So off the board. There we go. And I'm just going to need to remember we're going to have to place that first dip switch down again. Of course, if you get this bit wrong, you'll be waiting a little while. I've done it myself. It's easy to do. You'll never find it. But there we go. So back in a functioning state, we're going to get our CM4 module on board. We're going to get the Timecard Mini base on board. So a couple of clicks there. Don't forget the riser, so we'll need that one. And at this stage, I should note, if you've got any antenna cables you want to plug in, probably a good time to do it now. So here's one I found earlier. Just get that in there. Like so. And then the CM4 on top. And there we go. So mine is missing a bracket. Obviously, I'd recommend using one. For the interest of speed, I've left mine off. But there we go. So now we're ready to get that back into our host. So there we go. And get that out there, and we can power it on. So a couple of things you can do here. The Timecard Mini does have a mini HDMI or micro HDMI, so you can actually plug the screen in. It's got USBs on, plug the keyboard and mouse in. You can access it direct from that. We're actually going to access it over the network though, so I'm doing a network cable, which is here. So let me grab one of these. Just trying to find one long enough. There we go. So we'll go with. There we go. It's probably the moment there where you wish you had a bracket. To configure the Timecard Mini, we do have guides on our community site. So handy little section on the left, Timecard Mini ecosystem. This will tell you the defaults. So because we use the Timebeat image, we are running on Timebeat defaults, so it's nice and handy. So we're going to go ahead and see if we can access that. So we'll just start with ping. Let's see if we've got network. So we've got network, very good. So we can go ahead and SSH in. We've got admin at 10.11.11.11. There we go, so we're all in. We can see we're in, we've got the same IP. So fantastic. So next, we're going to configure your own Timecard Mini. This is going to help you see what we've got configured in the Timebeat system. But let's assume you're running your own Raspberry Pi at this point. Why don't we go ahead and download the software? So once you've got into now on your own system, you can copy a link on our software. I'm just going to operate and root, so we're going to get loads of permissions. And then wget software. That's now downloading. Shouldn't take too long. It's not too big. Anyone know any good jokes? Yeah. We'll just wait then. There we go. So then just apt install /Timebeat. Then make sure we've got a version. So there we go, 2.2.19. Again, shouldn't take too long. Any nanosecond now. There we go. I'm just going to select End now. This is a quick one to ask if I want to change my config file. In this case, I don't, so I'm quite happy with that. You will see this permission denied, perfectly normal. Feel free to ignore. So now that we've updated that, and again, if you've got your own Raspberry Pi, that's the process you follow, so nice and quick. If you do have your own one, don't forget to grab your license on our download page. Just put your name and email in. It's going to email your license across, no problems at all. So let's take a look at what we've got here. Back to configuring Timecard Mini. So you want to make sure the Timebeat config file is up to date and correct for the right module. So I'm using the essentials. So I can see here we've got the essentials down there. If you've got the light or the PT, a couple of slight changes, but you can see they're listed here, so just match them up. So to find it, we'll go to etc timebeat, timebeat.yml. And then we're going to scroll down to secondary sources, if I can find it. Here we go, so we've got the Timebeat Mini, T2ISO, or S0, in this case 9600, 225 on the offset. So you see we've got a slight deviation from T2I AMA0 here. So let's just double check that. So I know that it's S0, but let's find out. So there we go. We've got S0 on this one, slightly different image. Modern Raspberry Pi OSs, they'll use the T2I AMA0. Essentially, you just want to find serial zeros. So if I did, let's just say /dev serial 0, what we can find here is it is symboling to T2IS0. So we know that. Search for serial 0 on yours. You might come up with T2I AMA0 or T2IS0. So we're all good there. That's where the GNSS data is coming in from. So I'm just going to stop Timebeat. Systemctl stop Timebeat, just to make sure it's not running. Then going to plug my antenna in, and we're going to see. Actually, we can see in real time. Let's try that. So I'll do minicom-d T2IS0. Okay, so that logs me into the serial. Bit tricky on minicom if you haven't used it. Can get stuck here, so just be warned. You want to hold Control and press A at the same time, and then press Z for the menu. You can see the instructions on the bottom left. Then we're going to want to press P for changing the baud rate. Default is 115200. We know we're on 9600, so we're just going to press C and then hit return. And now we can see the NMEA data coming off the GNSS unit, where I'm just going to plug my handy antenna in, and we'll see if it picks up any time. So sometimes it can take a little while to pick up the information. Depends on the receiver. We can see we're starting to fill in, so that's quite nice. We'll just give it a minute. Essentially what we're just looking for, I don't know how to read NEMA personally, but ultimately we're looking for these 9s to change to some other numbers. So it's starting to fill in. We should be there in a moment. And that's when we know we've got a bit of a lock. So here we go. So we're getting lots more numbers here. This suggests to me that we're getting good signal, but let's see what Timebeat thinks. So Control A, Z again, and then in this case X to exit. And then we'll just start Timebeat out. A couple of ways to see what's going on with Timebeat. I'm going to use the journal command just to see if it's kicking through. So we can see here our PPS is available and our NEMA is also available. So obviously we're probably just tuning in, right? It's just coming in. So we're about a millisecond off at the moment, a couple of milliseconds. We'll see that tune in over time. You can see we're already sub 100 microseconds. And soon we'll be in the nanoseconds. So it takes a little while. Can't expect miracles in a couple of numbers, but we're getting there. We're in the nanosecond range now. With the essentials, I would see it settle around sort of plus or minus 30 nanoseconds, something like that. The PT, you're probably going to look closer to 5 nanoseconds, maybe even 10 nanoseconds. So here we go. So we're down in the 20s to 10s. I'll just stop that running, and you can sort of see that we've got 8 nanoseconds, 3 nanoseconds, 9 nanoseconds. So that's coming very well. Obviously pushing through that time. I'm just going to check to see if our SSH client is running. We do have an SSH client running. You can see it in the config file, but it's SSH-P 65129 admin 127.0.0.1 to log in. You're just going to type yes, and then you're going to type the password. You can change username and password in the config file. Currently on defaults, which is admin as the username, and password as the password. And then what we can do is have a look at what's going on. So I'm going to do. So let's have a look. What do I want? Show servo sources. There we go. So we can see our PPS is 10 nanoseconds. Our NEMA is a bit higher in milliseconds. Only looking for major time nowadays, so not too worried. We can also do show blocks offset. That's probably the one you're interested in. See, each 0 is 6 nanoseconds and 71 nanoseconds system clock. So system clock will always be a little bit worse than the PHC, but obviously with these records and numbers coming up, it's looking pretty good. And that's it. Join us for another guide on distributing PTP or NTP, or maybe even frequency. But for now, that will get you up and running on the Timecard Mini system fairly quickly. I don't know how long we spent. 5 minutes, 6 minutes. How long have we been going?
16.
16 minutes. Okay. Well, there you go. Maybe I need to get my clocks on soon. So there you go. That's the guide.